Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So a few things to cover here, a little bit of a free comic book day kind of question I don't fully know the details of, more information on the figure, the Aang figure that was announced the other day, more Weiss Schwarz Avatar reveals, and a bit of a segment on the most recent Avatar Generations update. So we'll start with this. And I don't really know if this is fully confirmed or anything like that. I just noticed it because it was noticeably absent from my local comic book store's list of books. And it seems like others are also concerned about this. And it kind of very much leads, especially on the Star Wars side of things, to this suggestion that there are pretty heavy concerns that this year's free comic book day book for Avatar and Star Wars High Republic Adventures may not be available in the UK and Europe due to licensing issues with the High Republic Adventures. I don't know for sure if this is the case. The basic idea is that it's all on the Star Wars side of things, specifically with not just the High Republic, but specifically High Republic Adventures. This used to be under IDW, this specific High Republic comic. Now it's under Dark Horse, but it has always had licensing issues to the point where I know for sure my local comic book store has never had the single issues of this comic in, both under both publishers. Even the most recent issues and stuff like that, given that sort of phase 2 issues have been apparently been releasing in the last few months, but not in Ireland and the UK and stuff like that. So this is an adventures comic, so this should fall under the same situation. And like I said, there's 43 free comic book day books. My local comic book store posted a sort of collage image of 42 comics. This was the only one left out, and I kind of feel that that is the case. Now I think I'll probably get an email from them where they do their kind of here's how free comic book day is going to go email, where they'll confirm what all the books are, but I have my doubts right now. But if you do happen to know anything about this, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I can maybe make a video with some clarifications closer to the time, because again, the reason I'm doing this up front is that so people see it straight away and are aware that there could actually be issues with the book this year. Because I know for sure for me, if the Avatar comic isn't available, then I don't need to attend my free comic book day, because I don't think there's any of the other books that I particularly want this year. That was the only reason I was probably going to go. And if not, there's no need for me to attend. Simple as that. And I think it's probably going to be the same for quite a few people, so just be aware of that. The figure, first 4 figures, the Aang figure, 11-inch, 13-inch, depending on the version. They have actually posted more previews of this. So I posted the silhouette in my last video, but they have started to fully preview this on their Instagram. So they started off with a sort of pseudo kind of unboxing type thing, showing a few different looks at this. Yeah, you can see there's a kind of silhouette sort of video in shadow going on here. An idea of the sort of like mock-up of like how they keep the limbs the right lengths and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But here is the clear image of it with a very nice size comparison. 2 cans is 2 drink cans is the size of this, and it looks very nice. Look, it is Book 1 Aang, and we are a little bit tired of everyone doing Book 1 Aang, but this is, I think, a particularly nice version of Book 1 Aang. I think the face is pretty nicely done. I think it's one of the more accurate sculpts that we've seen. It's sort of the pose that you want, but it's got almost a little bit more character to it, so I do like that. And the base is very nice. I like the little bits of leaves kind of in the air scooter on the grassy base. A little bit of an air swirl, and then the kind of navy and kind of orangey gold air nomad symbol and stuff like that. Pretty nice. It'll all come down to price. You know, someone asks, they're not ready to reveal that yet. I guess they will on May 9th when the pre-order goes live. A little bit frustrating in that I think a lot of people would like to know a bit ahead of time, like what the deal is with this. I think for sure it's going to be over 100. I doubt it will be too much more than that. Like, I don't think this will be approaching 200 just for the standard version, because it doesn't seem like it's as big as quite a lot of their other kind of statues in the same sort of like range as this one. I talked about the Dark Magician statue from this company in the last video, and to me the Aang does seem like quite a bit smaller. The base doesn't seem as complicated. Now, there's a slight complication added to it because they show a video here where you can see that it actually has lights and moving lights inside of it to give that moving air scooter effect, which is very, very cool, but it's like, that's going to bump the price up. So, I don't know, like, is there going to be a version of this without lights, or do they all come with lights? It says it's the collector's edition, so is there a normal edition? Because I don't think this is the 13-inch one. I still think that this is just the 11-inch one, and that there will be one that has the resin base that makes it even bigger than this. So it'll be interesting to see how that one actually goes, because, yeah, it looks basically the same. We'll have to see what the breakdown is in May. I think it looks good. There is the €20 off coupon if you give your email like ahead of time. And they seem to have good shipping. You won't have to pay customs for most regions because they have different warehouses everywhere. That definitely helps things, but I still don't think... it all comes down to the price. It all comes down to the price. And if it's not the right price for a Book 1 Aang statue that I'm a little bit fatigued on, I have a feeling I'll be waiting and seeing what else they put out. If they do a Book 3 Aang or other characters that I'm interested in. That's kind of my thoughts on it for now. Into the Weiss Schwarz reveal. So they've done a reveal every day this week. 2 of them by themselves on their own Twitter account. That was today's and yesterday's. And then on Monday they did the first YouTube creator video reveals that they gave exclusive to creators. So today's reveals were some Suki cards. So let's talk about these. So straight away, yes, the name is spelled wrong. I don't know, I don't think they've responded to any people pointing out yet that the spelling is wrong on Kyoshi. They have K-I-Y-O-S-H-I, whereas it should be just K-Y-O-S-H-I. Not sure how this happened, because it's a licensed product. Like, you assume that this is a combination of both Bushiroad and Avatar Studios somewhere along the line. That for this to get put out here and previewed at this point, that there had to be some approvals that happened. Now, it is not a picture of like the physical card, so we don't know if for sure it got printed necessarily with this spelling error, but they've waited until somewhat close to release to do it. And you know, the stuff at this point has been printed for all the logistics to make sense for this to be sent out to everywhere that's going to sell it. The hope is just that this is from much earlier on in the process with the spelling error, and that it's fixed in the printed version. If not, we just have to hope that there's not that many other cards that say Kyoshi and maybe have this same spelling error. Because you could sort of accept if it's maybe just this one card, the 2 different rarity versions of this one card. But like, if Kyoshi actually gets a card in the set, or there's other stuff that references Kyoshi Island or Kyoshi Warriors, it'll be a little bit frustrating that it's spelled wrong in multiple places. But without going too much in depth on the cards here, we have 2 different Suki. Suki Kyoshi Warrior and Suki Coming to the Rescue. That's what you can't see behind my camera. It's interesting because this one is a rare. Rarity bumped up, it is a super rare, which again is the lowest parallel rarity, but it's very nice new kind of Avatar Studios art. Both versions of Suki like have an effect that goes off when she is reversed in battle, so basically sort of when she like loses in battle. The other one over here has a bond with the card Sokka, Warrior of the Southern Water Tribe, so you'll be able to get that card out of your waiting room when this card is played. We don't know what that card is, but I'm assuming it's either a random Sokka in green, or it just is a blue Sokka that we just haven't seen yet. It's probably a higher level than this level 0, and it has a very sort of like general name, so that might be like a rare Sokka. I doubt it's the double rare or something like that, but it might be a rare Sokka to go with this like Sokka Suki little deck. It'll be interesting to see, like, is there more Suki, or is Suki more of a support character if you want to have, like, say, a Earth Kingdom, like, Toph deck, or is she support for Sokka, or what way are we going to do this? But still, very, very interesting stuff. I like that she has multiple cards and she has her own rare. So that's pretty nice. The card reveals from yesterday were some Katang cards. So we got yellow Aang and Katara expressing affection. We got the blue Katara and Aang reciprocated feelings. Again, these are alternate rarity versions, rare, super rare. And then the climax card that goes with the yellow card is Struck Down. And this is the standard version, the climax rare. And then this is the triple rare super foil version. I love the way they're choosing to do the climax card arts, where both of these look great. But the triple rare in crazy foiling, I think is going to look super, super nice. The kind of black and white effect here, I think is going to look very, very nice. And you can see the kind of theming here of just like, you know, Aang kisses Katara here. And then here is where you kind of get the reverse scene. This is where they truly come together as a couple, because you can see here the yellow card, actually its first effect, the non-climax card effect, actually references Katara and Aang reciprocated feelings. So if your level is 2 or higher, you can basically, avoid paying the 2 cost on the blue card and basically replace this on the field with this. So that's kind of nice. It doesn't jump you up a level, but it does save you having to pay the 2 stock cost. So that's pretty nice overall. And yeah, the effect here is kind of interesting. It seems to save Struck Down, sort of like save cards from battle at the end. It's an unusual kind of worded effect, but it's kind of interesting the way it works. Here it actually gets quite powerful with cards in the back row, and then interestingly, it gives your other characters this idea of like you get to check the cards before you do your trigger checks for attacks. So it'll more heavily guarantee you actually being able to make that stuff go off. Interesting about the art here is that the actual lower rarity version has probably the more like go-to scene, the actual kiss, whereas the super rare, the higher rarity version, has the hug. You'd almost think it would be reversed, but I like that they're not just doing it where like the clear kind of more fan favorite kind of like moment in the scene is just always at the higher rarity where you will have much of a less chance of getting it. I like that there is a mix where like some of them you will like the higher rarity version, some of them you'll probably prefer the lower rarity version just in terms of image choice. So that's interesting. Then the first YouTuber content creator exclusive reveal went to Casually Weiss Schwarz. I'll have the video linked down below if you want to check it out. I'm not going to go too much in depth on these, just give you an idea about the cards covered here. So he had to show off some Zuko and Aang kind of dancing dragon, Ran and Shaw cards with some, again, climax combo stuff going on here, as well as the double rare Zuko and the associated climax card, the Agni Kai with Zula, again, both versions of it. So again, the double rares and the climax cards are going to look very nice, but definitely check out the video here for Casually Weiss Schwarz to see their analysis on these specific cards. The only other thing I'll mention here is that someone asked them, what's the schedule for upcoming creators so that like we're aware of when all the videos go live? And so they say, every Monday at this time is when creator videos will go live. And I wonder who's up next. I wonder who gets the May 8th reveal. Who knows? Anyway, so from there we move into Avatar Generations stuff. So let me just open up the game here. So the reason I'm starting at the title screen here is to show you something straight away from the most recent update. So we all know Tagaka was added to the game, but also this was the week where we finally got to the Rise of Kyoshi 2 in terms of the login rewards. Now, everything else here, it's nice. Like you get stuff like, you know, the obvious stuff, some nice stamina. You'll get a ton of Kyoshi coins over the next couple of weeks. So if you're low at the moment, you'll get some as the time goes on. Timeline currency is going to be here. You do get a support ticket at the end, towards the end. But the last thing is very interesting, a brand new item. Now we knew we were going to get this. They promoted this ahead of time. But this is something where like we don't know where we are going to use this just yet. So it's a 5-star Avatar Timelines ticket. A summoning ticket that can be used on the guaranteed Avatar Timeline banner. Now that guaranteed Avatar Timeline banner isn't in the game yet. But if we go on a bit further, not sure why this is all coming up again. So if we go to the summons screen, you can see here, I assume it'll work very similar to this one, which is the guaranteed just like Aang era 5-star character summon. I assume we'll just get another one, except it will be themed after timeline stuff. So it'll have a picture of the icon that I just showed you here, and this will have timeline characters. That way, this is how you will have access to get timeline characters even when we're maybe more focused on Aang era content, as we probably will be after this Kyoshi update kind of comes to a close. Now, what characters are going to be in here? My assumption is just that they're going to put all the 5-star Kyoshi characters in here. You know, probably not, you know, some of the 4 stars and stuff like that. Obviously, it's meant to be 5-star. So those won't be in here. I assume some of the more generic characters, maybe Tagaka Tug, won't be in there. The question probably is just about Jeonju and Kelsang, because they'll be in the powerful opponent, sorry, the Peace Chaos banner right at the end of the event. Will they get immediately thrown into the kind of banner for the ticket at the end, or won't they be? But that's my assumption, is that it'll be basically all of the main characters either with Jeonju and Kelsang or without Jeonju and Kelsang. I can't really see it working in any other way. So you do have a chance to get a 5-star character before the event comes to an end. This is the actual new summon banner that we got here, which is the Tagaka summon banner. And I think everyone thought that the way this was just going to work will just be straight up Tagaka, that's it. She'll have her own, I suppose, associated relic, but it'll just be those 2 things. There's actually a bit more to it. So yes, we get Tagaka. Yes, Tagaka gets her own relic, which actually works very nicely with her, but it is kind of hard to pull. But nicely, and I think this is a really good thing, because Tagaka Tug was the powerful opponent, they are giving you the other 5th Nation characters. They're aware that for Tagaka to function properly, you need a team that has mostly, you know, 5th Nation pirate rebel characters, so they need to give you these other guys as well. And so we get a 4-star pirate here. The non-bender guy is available here, and note the rate on him is 5.5%, meaning he's very easy to pull. I think it took me 110 pulls to finally get Tagaka, and over the course of those, I think every 10 pull I got 1 or 2 of this guy. I think very occasionally I missed out on him along those pulls, but I think I came out with about 11 of this guy. So Matt was able to max him out on the skill coin side of things, and have some left over to add to my kind of coin kind of fund, of course. I didn't get the relic for Tagaka, but of course I did get the one Tagaka herself. And I think that she is a cool character, and especially because I actually really like Tagaka Tug. I think those 2 combo very nicely together. I'll actually just go into Tagaka for a second, just to kind of highlight her here for a second in the game. I don't have her leveled up a lot because I've just finished leveling up Tagaka Tug to max level, to the point where he's now my highest power character. I actually really like how he works in the game. But here's Tagaka. So the way her skills work, let's go into this. So her passive skill grants skill nullify to allies when any enemy is inflicted with a rank 3 water element. Now note that she by herself doesn't inherently inflict water elements, because the first one deals splash damage, which is basically that if there is a water element on someone when you attack them, it can be sort of like spread. It inflicts it randomly once it's there, but she doesn't inflict it on her own. Similarly here, she has like, it avoids like defense, you know, so what's the exact wording on this? It ignores damage reduction effects. Like, so that's good. That's a bit of a counter to some of the more powerful characters at the moment. And it has a chance to increase the rank of water elements on each characters. And then note the other 2 parts of the ability. When she uses her basic, she gets a random defensive buff for each pirate faction ally on the caster's team. So if you have a full team, you do 1 basic attack, you get 4 buffs, defensive buffs. That's really strong. And then if you do this, you get a random offensive buff for every rebel faction ally on the caster's team. So I think you can make that work where it works and you get 4 buffs both ways, which seems kind of crazy to me. And you can really get her going with some a bunch of offense and defense buffs. Her skill mastery stuff, I actually haven't looked at it. It's on this one, sorry. Mastery level 3. grant increased attack or defense to all pirate and rebel faction allies, not including the caster for turn. Attack or defense. Okay, so that's good. She then buffs the others after already getting buffs herself. And then this is kind of crazy at the end. Deal 50% increased damage to targets that are frozen. So you could see here, she acts as both a character who wants to combo with water characters, but also just with pirate and rebel characters as well. So you kind of have to account for both of them. Because yes, we have Talaric Tug, yes, we have Kiwok, who works for all of these, and that those three are all waterbenders. But there's no fourth, like, I think, pirate waterbender character at the moment. So you either have to go for another pirate character or another water character, depending on what you want to do. In that sense, I think there's maybe the potential, because the water debuffs is a pretty important thing. Bending Master Katara could actually be a nice kind of little combo kind of piece in there as well. Now you wonder, like, they're both attack characters, do you necessarily want that? But I think going full attack with Katara and then some sort of a more utility Tagaka, because she gets so many buffs and stuff like that, could be quite interesting, I think, anyway. And then, yeah, let me just check this. So what do we have here? Pirate, Rebel, that's correct. Pirate, Rebel, she herself is Fifth Nation, Rebel, Pirate, of course. And then Kiwok is the right stuff as well. She just doesn't have the Fifth Nation tag, but it doesn't inherently so that's fine. Like, all those characters are going to work with her as well, and there might be some interesting combos with other characters as well. So Tagaka actually is very interesting in terms of a build around character. You know, she's kind of like, she very much gets across the idea she is the pirate queen. She boosts and gains from having other pirates on your team, so that's really nice. But there's more. If you go into the shop for this event, there's a new Marquess of the Sea shop for both gold and Kyoshi coins. And what's available here is the Fire Fifth Nation Pirate. Firebending Fifth Nation Pirate. So you get another pirate here, so that's really good. And the relic here. So if you don't get any luck on the banner with that relic for Tagaka, you can get this one for cheap, which also is decent. You know, yes, you have to defeat an enemy to get it going, but it jumps straight to rank 3, which is actually, I think, kind of cool here. So if you focus down one character, have Tagaka deal the final blow, that seems pretty good. And again, you can get 6 of these and 6 of the pirate guy for just a couple of Kyoshi coins and gold. That's quite a lot of gold, but you can get that no real problem. So this is actually quite a nice shop here that they have going. Then quickly, just to go over some of the new challenges here, because they added quite a lot here. They added a Boundless Journey, which is very much generic, like adventuring. It's just do the different types of nodes, adventure with heroes, spend energy, and also spend adventure points. But when you spend adventure points, you're getting the bonus of more adventure points, so it really adds up as well. And if you aren't finished yet with summoning Talaric Tug, there's a nice little kind of like thing going on here where you can spend your adventure points on the powerful opponent tickets, try to summon Talaric Tug, and you're advancing these events as well. So you see, I'm making pretty good progress. I have a lot of it kind of like done already, and that's definitely going to happen over the next 2 weeks. There's the Marquess of the Sea event as well, where again you can earn Kyoshi coins here by doing like every 6 that you do, you get some Kyoshi coins. But it's just clear pirate domain stages, which you want to do because there's earn gold challenges. There's also spend gold on upgrading and event shop stuff, which is fine because you want to spend lots of gold in the shop here on these items, of course, and if you get your new characters, you're going to spend a lot of gold upgrading them, more than likely. So this all works really nicely together. There is some slight complexity here in that they want you to win battle in Pirate Domain wherein characters are using Rebellion, Justice, and also Destruction art sets. Now keep in mind you want to do that in combination with also battling with Fifth Nation characters. So the way to clear loads of these really, really quickly is to use as many Fifth Nation characters on your team, give your Fifth Nation characters the arts that they want, as many of them as possible, combo them up, and do pirate domains with them, and you will clear like 5 or 6 of these really, really quickly. So just after one day, you can see I have so many of these done already, which is was nice to see that like this was a very, very easy run of things compared to like some of the other ones are a little bit more tricky. Like, was it this one where there were some awkward ones where like, yeah, the crit chance up, the evasion, the speed up, if you're not familiar with how all the abilities work, like you might not have people that do that. These ones I think are very, very doable overall. Lychee nut stuff, you'll get that no problem. So I feel like I'm going to clear these over the next kind of like a couple days, couple of weeks, and that's great. That way I'll have a lot of Kyoshi coins for when next week rolls around, and potentially there's stuff in the shop that maybe relates to Yoon and so on. You know, this is all, I think, really good the way this works. And obviously, the more challenges you complete over the course of the event, the more you're adding to these rewards, which are going to get you Peace Chaos tickets. I think the earlier ones get you normal tickets, and eventually trying to get to the skill coin at the end of all of this. So, pretty good stuff overall. And I think the final thing... I should probably talk about the art sets, actually, while I'm here. So if you're not familiar with what Justice, Rebellion, and Destruction arts are, let me show you. I actually think I have it on my guy here. So yeah, these kind of wine or maroon ones are the Rebellion art sets. It's basically the counter set that increase your counter chance. That's the ones that you're looking for with that. The Destruction art sets are the orange ones, as you can see here. And they are the crit damage up arts. So you're looking for wine, orange, and then if you're looking for where you get the Justice ones, because they're not like common ones as such, you have to go activities, avatar timelines, and then you go to the avatar timeline shop down here. This is where you get the Justice art set, which is basically like the Kyoshi set, because it's defense with an additional effect at the 6th set for positive stances, which is very Kyoshi Warrior, Kyoshi stuff, and they all cost 60 each. So I don't have any at the moment because I was focusing all my timeline stuff on summon tickets for this event and the Peace Chaos stuff. But now to complete these events, I'm probably going to grab at least 1 or 2 of these so I can actually progress that event going on in the challenge section. A little frustrating that they require that. I get it's the bonus one at the end, but you know, we'll get there eventually. The good thing though is that just by advancing this one here, by spending energy, we're getting timeline resource tokens, so that's pretty good. Then final thing, how are they going to work the remaining parts of this event? So this one is come and gone, like we're here. Tagaka is here. So they didn't do Tagaka and someone else. So that means the characters left that we still haven't got a chance to summon are Yoon, Heiran, Jeonju, and Kelsang. So basically, Yoon, who we actually got to play as a little bit in the event. I'm surprised that we haven't had a chance to get Yoon and we're this far into the event. So he, I think, has to be next week for sure. But then what's interesting about Karuk's team avatar, so Heiran, Jeonju, and Kelsang, we don't even know what they're like in game. We at least saw what Yoon is, like what Yoon is a mind character. We know what his abilities all do. Apart from data mining, we don't actually know anything about the other 3. Now, the data mining suggests Heiran is a defense character, Kelsang is a peace character, and Jeonju is a chaos character, meaning that the latter 2 there, Kelsang and Jeonju, will be in the Peace Chaos banner, which is in basically 2 weeks' time. That will be on the 16th of May. But that leaves next week's banner, the one for the 9th of May. Is it going to be Yoon? Is it going to be Yoon and Heiran? Is it just going to be Heiran? What way are they going to offer these different characters? I find that kind of very interesting. I lean towards it being like Yoon, and then I'm not sure what way they'll do the rest of the characters, because I almost feel like they're preparing us for, like, they're going to create more an event out of, it feels like, Karuk's team avatar, the masters, basically, when they introduced them. That's why they've been a little bit sort of like secretive with them. They haven't even let you test them out. So I almost wonder, like, is there going to be a little bit more story given to us in the final week of the event or something like that, so we know them a bit better? And then might they do something where, like, maybe Heiron is just maybe offered in one of the shops or something like that, as like, hey, we'll kind of almost like give you, just for the event items and stuff like that, the Heiron, but if you want Kelsang and Jeonju, you have to go in pretty hard on the Peace Chaos event. I wonder how they'll do that, because it's a little bit of a weird combo if they go for like Yoon and Heiron in the banner, two like very different kind of like characters. Yes, there's a sense where like, oh, she's trying to teach him firebending, and that's the whole like dynamic from the story, but it's a bit of an odd combo, I do think. So it'll be interesting to see what way they order those characters, and then as the event comes to an end, what way do they manage, you know, the timeline banner with the ticket and stuff like that. My own strategy, just to finish off with this, is obviously I've used what I have so far with the summon tickets here, meaning I'm probably not going to be able to do much during the banner next week. Like, unless it's really, really impressive, I think I'm probably going to be maybe skipping over the banner next time out, next week. And I'm going to put my focus with the 83, and I'll add to that, of course, as the days go on, 9k gems. I want to guarantee I can get one of those Peace Chaos characters, because I don't have any Peace or any Chaos characters, and I would like to have them just to see what they're like. And then specifically, I would really like Kelsang and Jeonju, so that's why I'm really saving my stuff up here, and that's why I'm focusing on a lot of this stuff here in the events, because this will get me more tickets. When the Peace Chaos actually comes around, there'll obviously be an event where you can earn tickets. They'll be in the shop and stuff like that. So there'll be a chance to get more tickets that way. Don't forget, the arena also offers tickets as well. For 30 for a normal ticket, 60 for a Peace Chaos ticket. And then, like I showed you earlier on, there's also in the timeline shop, summon tickets, 3 for 50 and then 3 for 70 for Peace Chaos. This is where I've got a lot of mine from. But now I do need to buy the Earth Justice set. So, but you know, there's still pretty much 2 full weeks until the Peace Chaos event. And just by doing like the ads there, that's going to be like over 1,000 extra stones. And there's a variety of other ways to get stuff as well. Like, which is it? Yeah, boss battle, is it? No, it's here. I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, sorry, here. Yeah, summon tickets, normal summon tickets are on like a cooldown by a week. For 5 of each of the boss battle coins. So they're also available if you want more of these summon tickets. This is one of those things where, like, yeah, these are probably going to be the tickets that I use. My kind of last chance at sort of normal summons during the Kyoshi event will just be kind of using this. Maybe grabbing some of these nature stones also for this coin amount. You know, that sort of thing. So yeah, there's kind of my strategy at the moment with this. For sure with the Peace Chaos event, I'll definitely do a video kind of showing off my kind of pulls as I do them. I wasn't sure last night when this event happened if I wanted to show them off. It was a little boring, like the pulls that I had here, where like it took until right at the end to get Tagaka. But I think the Peace Chaos event is going to be much more exciting. So yeah, that has been the video. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on all the news that I had to talk about today, as well as my kind of more detailed Avatar Generations segment here at the end. But yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.